I'm standing at the side of the hill by Eagle Rock on the Loop Trail in Topanga State Park. This is May 18th. The evacuation orders were lifted yesterday, and it's now more or less safe to be in the canyon, although you can see some smoldering still here and there in the park. It doesn't seem to be anything major. However, the fire department air support are still flying over, still working on it. So this is the calm after the storm. The central park of Topanga State Park, central area, of Topanga State Park had been pretty much burned down. The fire was stopped in the north, right at the Backbone Trail. We also call it the Loop Trail, northern portion of it, that comes right by Eagle Rock, although locals who lived here for a long time ago always called it Elephant Rock, because from the side that we come to it, it actually looks kind of like a big head of an elephant with a trunk. Now the trail goes past it, winds down to the lower portions where you see it down there. This is the lower portion of the trail, goes by Eagle Springs. Eagle Springs they originate right in this top portion and go through the erosions in the hills, forming this canyon. They keep going down this canyon to over those rocks where you still see some smoldering. And somewhere on the other side of that rock formation is actually sent in as springs and waterfall. So that's where that's about where the southern end of the fire was, where it came from, where it kind of originated, and headed north right into the canyon and right to Eagle Rock. On the west side, the fire was stopped right along the East Topanga Fire Road, which runs along this ridge line here and kind of behind the Elephant Rock, Eagle Elephant Rock. And it came close to Trippett Ranch Park headquarters, but them being also downhill, much like the rest of our neighborhood here, the fire was prevented from spreading down and westward toward Trippett Ranch and the neighborhoods of Entrada, where the houses come quite close to the park. And to the east, the fire stopped somewhat along the Temescal Fire Road, somewhat along that corridor, although in some places the Temescal Fire Road further down this canyon, closer to Pacific Palisades, hasn't been touched, and the fire was still quite a bit downhill from it. So in all, I'd say, considering what it could have been, had our firefighters didn't have all this great air support of helicopters and big airplanes, have they not had that, it would have been much harder to stop it, because on any given day, this is where the wind blows really hard from the ocean. Having this narrow canyon come to this abrupt stop right at this ridge, it really speeds up and becomes very windy in this particular area. So it could have been worse. The fire did not jump over this ridge into Garapita Canyon, which was very good. I'm sure they wanted to stop it here because Garapita Canyon, right on the other side of this ridge line here, is actually Mulholland, the dirt Mulholland, and below it is the city of Woodland Hills, Tarzana, and Reseda. So right where you see that little cut in the hill. That's the fire road. Temescal Fire Road comes to Reseda Boulevard pretty much on the other side. Mulholland runs along this ridge. Exactly north of us here, in this direction, lie neighborhoods of not only Santa Maria Road in Topanga, but also Tarzana and more east Woodland Hills. So that was good that they prevented it from jumping over. The rest of Topanga is visible from here as well. Northern Topanga, neighborhood of Arctique, up on the ridge, Alta Drive. Central Topanga with Henry Ridge, Old Canyon behind it. And right now it's too hazy to see the rest of it, but there it lies. The fire came from the south, traveling exactly north up this canyon with the wind. You can't see the ocean because it's too hazy, but actually beyond this rock formation and plume of smoke, you see that Kenya's gap in the hills. That's where the ocean starts. That's actually the beaches at Pacific Palisades.